All right, here we are inside the Minnesota Career Information System. And when you get there, if you click on your assessments, you just click that, go to the What are my interests area. You can expand that with this plus sign, and go to the Career Cluster Inventory, which we already took. Now you should see your results. And so if I was interested, I said to pick your top one. I have on my screen, I have, a lot of them that are near the top. So if you have several that are like pretty much tied, then you could just choose the one that was most interesting to you. So if I chose finance, I can click on it, and that's going to take me to an area where I can investigate the different questions that I'm supposed to answer for this assignment. So you'll see, an overview. That's where you start. But then you can look at the level of education and earnings. So if I want to find out, how much school do I need? How much money can I make? I can click that and it'll show me. So you'll want to read this. So you'll want to read all about your job or the jobs in that career cluster. And then you can see um, all the sorts of jobs down below. And so what they show is the first ones are ones that are really on the job training or really quick. And so, for instance, in finance that I chose, someone could be like a bank teller and right away maybe they would go to school a little bit, but they might be able to get the job right out of high school. And so you can see about what salary that would be. You can look down and see what sorts of jobs would maybe take up to a year to learn about. And that could be things like a bill collector or an insurance agent. And if you don't know what some of these are, like for example, if you came in here and you said, what is a brokerage clerk? You can click on that and you can find out more about it. Now, as I go down, I can see these jobs down here require a bachelor's degree. So those are jobs where I would have to go to college for maybe 4 years. And so I could be an accountant, or I might be a loan officer that helps people get mortgages for a home or a business. I could be a financial counselor. And you can see what the wages are for those jobs. Now, there's two columns. The first one is the national annual median wage. That means kind of like the middle or the average. So that's nationally around the country. The column on the right is in Minnesota. So for instance, if I go to let's say a financial counselor, and again, you can find out more about that job if you click on it, but I can see that across the country, financial counselors make $89,000. But in Minnesota, they actually make $96,000. So that's per year. That's a nice high paying job to come out of school and have as get a bachelor's degree. So that's a really good one. And so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at, what sorts of jobs and how much money can I make? So for this assignment, maybe pick 3 different jobs that you really like and write down the salaries. And that'll be something that you'll include in your final product. Remember, you're creating maybe an essay or you might make a video or a slideshow. And so you'll want to have a section all about what sorts of jobs and what the salary is for those jobs. Then you're going to be looking into, what are the courses that you could take in high school to prepare for, one of these types of jobs in this career cluster. So you can click on that and you can see, here's the different courses you'll want to take. You're going to take your core courses, plus this is going to show you some of the electives that you might want to take if you can find them in your high school. So that's important. You're going to want to have a section on your assignment that you turn in that's all about what kind of courses could you be taking in high school. Then skills and training. So you could look at skills. This will tell you, what sorts of skills that you need to develop to get this job. And so, it's going to tell you, like, for instance, in finance, you have to be able to communicate and explain things to people. You have to be able to problem solve. You need some math and science, and you need to be able to really manage your time. So, you're going to want to have a section on your assignment about that. What sorts of skills? Now, I'm going to jump back to the level of education and earnings because also in this assignment, you need to explain how much training um, you might need. So some of these jobs, they would train you. Like if you're a bank teller, you might not need to go to college for that, but the bank might train you, and they might even have some training programs. But if you want to choose one of the ones that needs like a bachelor's degree, then that's going to college for 4 years. So you're going to need to describe on your final assignment you turn in, what kinds of training in school do you need for these jobs? And finally, what does the future hold? That's one of the questions you need to answer. Is this job going away and going to be replaced by robots? Or is this a growing area where there's a lot of need? So you can go to the Outlook, and the Outlook is going to tell you, you're going to have to read about it, and it's going to tell you about what's happening. So, for instance, in finance, it says right away, job opportunities in banking and insurance are expected to increase slowly. Well, you might pick an area where they're decreasing, so there's fewer people, or maybe you're going to pick an area, a career cluster where it's booming. There's lots and lots of new jobs being created. It's really growing. So take a look at the outlook, take a look at the pathways, and uh, it's going to tell you, how you would learn or how you'd prepare. So you should truly spend a couple hours taking notes and looking at all of these for your career cluster before you create your slideshow or write your essay or make a video. So hopefully that helps you know. Again, you go into your assessments, you go to what are my interests, you open your career cluster inventory. It's going to take you to your results. Then you can click on the top one or two, and then you can go through and investigate. So that's what you need to do to be successful on this assignment.